Right.
And then, so like the Bible clearly states that sin is transgression of the law, right?
Right.
What is sin? What is that transgression of what law? What are we talking about?
The definition that you mentioned is definitely correct.
Right.
Sin is a transgression of the law. 1 John chapter 3 states sin is a transgression of the law.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing people have to understand is what is the law.
Right.
So the law is kind of what dictates, tells you what the big deal of sin is.
Right. Right.
First, I'm going to tell you the law is actually love.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 1 John also says that God is love.
Which is God is principle, or the love that he is based off principle. Right.
The whole universe that he's created is based off love.
Right.
So sin is contrary to the whole entire universe. It cannot exist without contrasting or going against God himself in any aspect. The universe and sin does not connect because God's created the universe to be a specific way.
Right.
This is why when sin came into the earth, it brought destruction and death. The wages of sin is death. But just to prove what the law is, let's look at Luke. So most people think that you can just remove the law. You cannot remove the law because you would have to remove the essence of God. You would have to eliminate love and the principle of love, which essentially would be like removing God from existing.
Right.
But God could not remove his existence.
Right. His character.
Which is why Christ had to die, because the law was immovable. You could not move the law because that's like moving God out of existence. Now, to prove that, we know that it says God is love. So let's show, when people read the law, they're supposed to understand what this is.
Right.
In Luke chapter 10, this is Luke chapter 10,
I'm with you.
verse 26 to 28. He said, let's read from verse 25. It says, and behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, they tested him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? Jesus looked at him and said, what is written in the law? How readest thou? What do you get when you read the law? Verse 27 says, and he answered and said, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. And Jesus says in verse 28, thou hast answered right. This do, and you shall live. So this man is a lawyer. He reads the law of Moses every day. And he said, how do I get eternal life? Which means, how do I get God's life in me?
Right.
He says, what do you get when you read the law? He says, when I read the law, I get love. I get love God and love my neighbor with all my strength and life and being. And Jesus says, you do that and you shall live. You see what I'm saying? Life is based off of the love. The law is directly connected in describing love. Right. And the law describes love, and love is life. Because God is life and God is love. So sin is directly contrary. The big deal is that sin cannot exist. It must be destroyed because it's contrary to life itself, the existence of everything. It's contrary to the existence of the universe. You see? This is why Christ had to come and die, because the law could not be removed, or else the existence of everything that's based off of love will be removed also. The only thing that you can remove is sin, but because man has sinned, God would have had to remove man. So the big deal is you can't sin without needing to be removed. And Christ came down and he was removed for you.